Here's a peek at Stewie's insane weapon collection.
These are guns.
Nah, I'm kidding. That's just the one that fits in his frackin' closet.
Now battle stations, everyone! Unleash hell!
What kind of one-year-old has an entire fleet of fighter jets? The answer? Stewie Griffin. And today, I'm going to go through every single one of his weapons and rate them based on damage, magazine size, reload rate, and how fast they can make things go boom. We'll kick things off with Stewie's melee weapons. You know, stuff that a tiny unhinged warlord can swing around, stab, smash, and split his enemies in two with. You probably think I'm exaggerating, but watch this.
Are you okay?
It's just one of the many melee weapons in this toddler's inventory. In the episode Brief Encounter, Stewie made a deal with Doug to commit a murder for him, and he decided to do it with the coolest blade he's got. Tell me that knife isn't the sickest thing ever. He couldn't go through with it though when he found out the target of the murder.
Beat it. You don't want to see what I'm about to do to Miss Tiggywinkles. Get away from me now. Oh my god!
Stewie's an evil baby, but he's not evil enough to murder a cat. Using all sorts of weapons against his mom, on the other hand,
When she returns, I'm going to put bamboo splinters and I'm going to strip her down and tie her to the bed.
looking at that wagon, we get a chainsaw, a hammer, a prickly bat, a butcher's knife, and an axe. All because Lois and Peter went on a cruise without him. Does that sound like overkill? Yes, it does. All that ultimately led to him murdering his mom, taking over the world, and ultimately dueling her to the death. See that knife work? How does someone who doesn't even know shapes swing a knife like that? For simplicity's sake, I'm gonna rate all of his melee weapons together. Realistically, doing serious damage with a melee weapon comes with putting yourself in a risky position and requires landing specific blows. The damage is on the low side at 2 stars. Why are we using stars as the metric? Because I like them. The fire rate, or I guess speed of attack, would be pretty low as well, especially for the heavier weapons, 2 stars. Reload time's coming in at 5 stars, no reloading necessary. Same with the magazine size, unless you drop your weapon, then you're cooked. Although those stats are relatively low, we're just getting started because this next weapon brought Stewie out of the Iron Age and into the medieval era. I'm talking about his collection of crossbows. Now, Stewie's no Legolas, but he still has a tiny bit of finesse and marksmanship.
Stewie,
Why don't you burn in hell?
no dessert for you, young man.
I lied, he sucks big time. But in his defense, he's still a 1-year-old, and Legolas obviously cheats. I don't know how, probably magic or something, but anyway. Alright, so he has a terrible aim, but to his credit, he actually worked on that and added a scope to his crossbow.
Peter's been very preoccupied with work. I guess Stewie's been missing his father. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, that's some amateurish shooting, no denying. That's why several seasons later, he improved on the design of the classic crossbow and made something pretty darn impressive. Here he is infiltrating a birthday party using the new design. And with that bit of techno magic, he'll never miss again. That is, unless he's going up against someone with as much plot armor as Lois. Now, a crossbow was designed to penetrate metal armor, not plot armor, so it's capable of a reasonable bit of damage, 3 stars. The fire rate and reload time, on the other hand, are abysmal. As you can see, Stewie had to load that bad boy with 2 hands, 1 star for the both of them. As for the mag size, well, it can only take 1 bolt at a time, so 1 star. I'll give the tech crossbow 1 more star in the fire rate and reload category. It looks like it'll be a bit faster. Now we're heading to the gunpowder era, and we'll kick things off with one of Stewie's favorite weapons, the pistol. Believe me when I say, he has different types for different problems, like his handy-dandy revolver. I mean, I get why he's so into revolvers. They got the heft to them, and they can still fit neatly in his diaper. Plus, it really reinforces that bad boy look.
What if I hold it sideways like a black guy? I don't want any trouble. As long as you eat my poo.
Technically, that revolver belonged to Brian. Here's one he carries on him, in case his family members step out of line.
Now, Stewie!
I guess this is the night die.
Little Stewie is always strapped and ready. Fun fact, did you know a standard revolver round would hit the human body with around 500 foot-pounds of force? No? I didn't even know what a foot-pound was before this video, so maybe I'm not one to talk. But just as comparison I found on Google, that's literally the same as having a bowling ball dropped on your head from 3 stories, but with a smaller surface space for slicing through the internal organs. Science is fun. 4 stars. The fire rate heavily depends on the user. Banning your gun for quick shooting doesn't matter when you're not hitting jack. 3 stars. The downside is it's a 6-shot revolver. Basically, its bullet capacity is limited, and the reloading sequence isn't the fastest either, so 2 stars for both. Now, I know some of you like Stewie just love revolvers, but let's be honest, you wouldn't be able to pull a cool John Wick reload if you aren't using a semi-automatic pistol. And the first time I saw Stewie pull out one of those was in the episode Patriot Games, where Brian had the dumb idea of placing a bet against Stewie. What did I just say? Stewie? Stewie!
Brian, care to place a wager? I've got Carol Channing beating Mike Tyson in 3 rounds.
Hell, give me $50 on Tyson.
Yeah, you're in good company.
Of course, Brian lost that bet and now owed Stewie $50. $50 he was going to collect.
Oh my God! Yeah, where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah, how much you pay for that fake mustache?
Listen, you just gotta give me more time.
Don't make a fool out of me, man.
Honestly, it's almost impressive how casually he uses something this dangerous, but it is nothing, nada, compared to how Brian just cannot learn his freaking lesson. Do you remember this episode in which our not-so-intelligent writer decided to kill Rupert?
How about you kill something I love?
How about I do that?
No, I meant like my favorite tennis ball. You're comparing to a tennis ball? He always knew there was something off about you. You're a psycho! You don't understand.
Shut up.
Kinda surprised Stewie didn't pull the trigger right then and there. You wanna see him really use that weapon though? Check out the episode Lego My Mego, where he saved Meg from a bunch of dangerous criminals.
What the hell are you doing?
Now, just because I like it, I'm gonna show you how that cool fight scene ended.
Where is this girl? Where is she?
What a hero, right? Well, he became a better one when he decided to join the army. Nah, just kidding, he joined the American army.
All right, last resort. Shoot me in the foot.
Shoot yourself in the foot.
Here, you shoot me and I'll shoot you.
I don't think this is gonna work.
Ready?
Oh, damn it!
I think you missed me.
All right, I'll try again.
He didn't fancy army life that much either. Shocker, I know.
No, I changed my mind. I don't want to do it. Flat out, just not safe. Ow, ow, ow.
Let me see.
No, it's gross.
Let me see it.
Ow. Okay, that was real.
That's the kind of smooth, consistent shooting you get from the Beretta M9 double-action pistol. How do I know it's an M9? Because that's what the Army issued in 2006, the same year that episode aired, Shrilly. Now let's get back to the time Stewie took over the world. More mother-baby fight scene incoming. Golly goober, how are they both missing each other at such close range? These pistols do some serious damage as well, but not as much as a .357 mag revolver, so it gets 3 stars. While the individual damage of a 9mm Glock is slightly lower, its superpower is that faster fire rate that doesn't sacrifice accuracy, 4 stars. As for the magazine size, 15 bullets per mag is pretty solid and typically gets the job done, 3 stars. Reload time's even more impressive, coming in at 4 stars. Now, if you're thinking, oh, it's just a stinking pistol, everybody and their grandma's packing one of those, well, do you have this next weapon? I bring before you Stewie's submachine gun.
Ooh, I finally get to see what of it looks.
Oh my God!
Now that is a certified, completely valid crash out. Now, if you ask me, any villain whose arsenal doesn't include a submachine gun isn't really serious about their villainy. I know Megamind packs one, and if there's one thing I know about the little guy, not, Megamind, but Stewie, his guns have to match his outfit, which is one of the things that I love about this scene.
Something I should have done long time ago.
Oh yeah, he also ended his mom in this scene. But did you see the outfit though? Just because of that, I'll be using the Uzi stats for my rating. Now, the Uzi was originally designed for the Israeli Defense Forces in the 1950s, and it became the go-to firearm for arms dealers, mob bosses, and apparently toddlers with mommy issues.
What are you doing? I want to sleep in your bed.
This is for your own good.
Where are you going?
Lois, answer me! Get back in here and love me! Lois!
Oh wow. Well, the Uzi does very decent damage, like not as much as a revolver type of difference, but that's probably a trade-off to balance out its main feature, 3.5 stars. Its high fire rate is where it's at though, capable of blasting up to 600 rounds per minute. This baby gets 4 stars. It's got a solid mag size as well, holding a standard of 32 rounds, also 4 stars. But with that high firing rate, you'd burn through bullets as fast as Brian cooks up excuses of why he hasn't written anything yet. Whether it be the Splat-O-Matic from Splatoon. I like Splatoon, okay? So reloading is something you're gonna be doing often. Thankfully, it's relatively quick. 3 stars. Wait a minute, I think it was the Splash-O-Matic. Frackin' no one cares. While the Uzi isn't exactly common, it's still pretty standard stuff. This next weapon, though, can be found in pretty much every state, country, continent. I'm talking about the AK-47. Of course, Stewie does in fact have one, which is why he's the kind of kid you don't want to do this to.
Whoops.
Hey, excuse me, fella.
What do you want, shrimp?
Oh, just a few moments of your time. Let me just get this little guy assembled. Do.
Alas, Stewie, the 1-year-old homicidal genius, is not as homicidal as he used to be, and can't even work this weapon right.
So, where are you from?
What's it to you?
Everybody's got a story, that's what I believe.
Never seen that happen before.
What the devil happened
happened here? I've assembled that rifle 1,000,000 times.
Despite failing to kill the kid, I think it's fair to say that Stewie is a menace to society. And no, he doesn't just carry around his disassembled AK, he has lots of them. You remember the time Stewie literally destroyed the timeline and put Native Americans in charge?
You know, it actually looks like they've done all right for themselves. They do seem to have a lot of shops.
And it looks like they have medical care as well.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Your husband just isn't responding.
Have you tried this?
He did that by traveling back in time with a boatload of guns.
Look, there you are, giving them the guns.
You told me you were checking on the horses.
She's a sizable woman, that's what I meant.
There's something about an all-black AK-47. No, that will not be affecting my rating. From what I know, the AK-47 hits hard, 4 stars. Not because each bullet alone is so destructive, but because of the rapid, consistent punishing damage of a whole magazine. Also, firing 600 rounds a minute, overkill. This baby gets 4 stars. Another thing the AK-47 is known for is its a large magazine size. Usually a standard mag has about 30 rounds. It can be modified to take up to 70 though, so 4 stars. Finally, the AK-47's reload sequence seems pretty easy. Remove the clip, grab a new one, reload, but remember, it's always quicker to switch to your sidearm. 3 stars. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Stewie doesn't just deal in AKs, so why don't I introduce you to the other rapid-fire babies he has under his bed? Remember how Stewie isn't the kind of baby you want to bully? Well, he's also not the kind you want to scare either.
What was that? Oh my god, Rupert, we're under attack by monsters! Dear God!
I keep forgetting how much of a baby he actually is, probably because he has access to weapons like this.
Undead, time to send you back to hell!
Whoa, what the hell are you doing?
We're under attack, Brian!
Stewie, those aren't monsters, they're kids.
Instead of distributing chocolate, Stewie was serving up hot lead to his peers. He doesn't always fire his weapons though, sometimes he just uses it to aura farm.
Victory shall be mine.
That picker looks like a 50 caliber BMG. Sadly, looks are deceiving. In reality, that's an M60 machine gun, which is more manageable than a devastating 50 cal. Now, a semi-automatic rifle like the AR-15 hits pretty hard, and it hits from a distance that a submachine cannot compete with. 4 stars. The fire rate is solid and more controlled than a submachine gun. This isn't a sprayed with no hit situation. 4 stars. The mag can hold anywhere from 30 to 60 rounds, which gives you plenty of room to make your point to your opponent before you need to reload. 4 stars. And since it's not burning through ammo at Uzi speeds, you're not scrambling to reload every 10 seconds either. 3 stars in the reload time. But that's a classic semi. The M60 is a fully automatic beast. Its larger, heavier bullet gives it even more penetrating power, putting its damage at 4.5 stars. Its fire rate can go up to 650 rounds per minute. Easy 4.5 stars. It has lots of extra bullets too. It can hold twice or even 3 times what an AR-15 can carry. 4.5 stars. The downside is, it is quite the hassle to reload. 2.5 stars. Alright, let's move on to something Stewie the 1-year-old could probably legally buy today. His long-range bolt-action hunting rifle. From my research, the only places I saw this weapon were in multiple deleted scenes. Not sure why the producers insisted on cutting it out. But check out this one.
Should be exiting Quagmire's house in 3, 2... Hey, thanks a lot. I had a swell time last night. All right.
Look at how compact and lightweight that long-range rifle is. Unfortunately, Stewie was not hunting game. He was just killing people in these deleted scenes.
Hey, what the hell? What's happening? Who's doing that? I can't swim without these things!
Then maybe you shouldn't have built a hot tub, Joseph.
Just because it's a hunting rifle doesn't mean the damage isn't heavy. Obviously, it wouldn't hit as heavy as a modern 50 caliber sniper rifle, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't hesitate to take you out. 4 stars. Now, the rifle is a bolt-action weapon, which means its fire rate is slow, deliberate, and you don't want to miss. 2.5 stars. To make things worse, its magazine size is very small, housing between 3 to 5 bullets internally. 2 stars. And the reload sequence isn't quick either. You need to feed each round into the chamber by hand. Imagine doing that in the middle of a frackin' gunfight. Definitely requires some nerves of titanium. 2 stars. If you want to see a real sniper rifle though, check out this next gun. From the episode And Then There Were Fewer, where the whole of Quahog was invited to James Woods' mansion for a killing spree. Well, the killer decided to go after Stewie's mom, which is a very not good idea.
If anybody's gonna take that down, it's gonna be me.
That right there looks like a Remington 700 with a custom scope and a bipod. Don't you dare tell me I'm seeing things. In terms of stats, the sniper rifle is the opposite of any semi-automatic weapon. The damage level is absurd, which makes sense given that you only need to get out 1 shot at a time. 4.5 stars. The range is insane, but it sacrifices fire rate because, you know, 1 bullet at a time. 2.5 stars. When it comes to the magazine, some Remington 700 snipers actually have a reasonable magazine size capable of carrying 5 to 10 bullets, and that can be a life-saving advantage in a gunfight. 2.5 stars. The reload on this one is definitely a lot better though, thanks to having a magazine, so 3 stars. Enough slow and deliberate weapons. We want some carnage. What do you think about explosives? You like watching things go boom? Do ya? 'Cause I know I do. I don't know what I was doing there. Which is why the next weapon on the list is the kind that just needs you to point in the direction of where the problem is.
Hey, you want to end the show with a to be continued meme?
Where the frick was he keeping that? Now, rocket launchers aren't exactly suitable for indoor activities, but weirdly enough, Stewie seems to use the weapon only for domestic problems. For instance, the episode Peter Caviar Eater, Lois inherited a house from her stinkingly rich aunt, but the house came with some unwanted visitors.
Come play with us, Stewie.
It's all work and no play makes Stewie a dull boy.
Should have gone after someone else like Meg, but they just had to go after the homicidal baby with a bazooka in his pants. The other time Stewie pulled out a rocket launcher from thin air was in the episode Halloween on Spooner Street, after, once again, someone picked the wrong kid to bully.
Nice bag of candy you got.
Oh, thank you.
Well, now it's ours.
Well, no, but I don't know how that's candy, but...
Thanks, Duck Boy.
If this were classic Stewie, that kid would have lost his frackin' hand the moment he touched that bag. That's not to say Stewie didn't try to get his revenge, though.
Hello!
It's that stupid kid.
Now listen very closely, because here's how it's gonna go down.
Well, look at that, trying to have a conversation instead of blowing stuff up. You know what? He deserves what happened next. What the frick was that rocket launcher? A fat man? That thing would have taken out the whole frickin' neighborhood. Now let's talk stats. The rocket launcher does some serious explosive damage, the kind that addresses the problem and everything else around it. 5 stars. As for the fire rate, you load one rocket, you fire, you'll watch the consequences disintegrate. But honestly, with that level of destruction, do you really need a follow-up shot? So that's like half a star, same with the magazine size, and same with the reload time. You gotta be careful loading these things. Nobody wants a rocket exploding in their face. I know I wouldn't. Now we've covered weapons that are precise, weapons that are loud, weapons that can erase an entire block. It's time to move on to Stewie's shotguns. Starting with this double-barreled frick.
The 10 gauge. Man, I've never handled one of these before. Yes!
You feel that kick? In the early seasons, Stewie obviously found it difficult to handle all that recoil, mostly because that's a 10 gauge shotgun, and he's a 1-year-old. Unlike the standard 12 gauge, the 10 gauge is the older, meaner, bigger sibling, which means more stopping power, larger shells, and more gunpowder behind it. 4.5 stars. Obviously, that means more damage, but the trade-off is the fire rate. You only got 2 shots to get your point across, then you crack it open, eject both shells, reload, close it again. That also means there's basically no magazine. Once the 2 shots are done, take cover. So that's 1.5 stars for fire rate and magazine size. This also means Stewie would have to reload multiple times depending on how long the engagement is, 2 stars for reload time. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Stewie got better at choosing his shotguns. The next time he had slugs in the chamber, he handled the kickback like a pro.
My legs! Now I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair!
That is cold-blooded. Just look at that gun handling. Now, a 12 gauge shotgun is a completely different animal from a 10 gauge. It packs almost the same damage, but it's cleaner and more accurate without the 10 gauge's punishing kick. So yeah, 4 stars for the reduced damage. Problem is, it has the same 2-bullet limitation, same firing rate, same magazine size, same reload mechanism, so that's pretty much the same stars for everything else. But if you get the delusion you're more likely to survive a 12 gauge, well, remember what happened to Joe's legs and act accordingly. The final member of Stewie's shotgun trifecta is the pump action. In the episode Mom's the Word, Stewie fell into depression and wanted to end it all. Why? Well, he found out he's gonna die someday, so he decided to end his life early. Yeah.
Death by cop. Hey, copper, come get me!
Oh no, an armed assailant.
And shoot me!
But one day I don't wear my best. Don't you hate how the heart is right about here?
Fortunately for him, he didn't know there are levels to this depression thing. That pump action kind of looks like a Mossberg 500 tactical shotgun, which has the same insane damage as your regular 12 gauge. 4 stars. It's better than the previous shotgun though. Its fire rate is higher because the magazine size is large. It can carry up to 8 shots, which makes for a perfect starter and finisher. 3 stars for fire rate and magazine size. Now the reload time is a little tricky. Shotguns aren't exactly known for their quick reloads, but for a shotgun, being able to load 8 shells at a time is a plus on its own, so I'll just give it 2.5. Pretty much every one of these weapons can be purchased at a fracking Walmart. Yes, including the rocket launcher. You just gotta ask if they have it in the back. This next weapon, though, could land you at The Hague for committing a war crime. I'm talking about the flamethrower.
This is a wall of lies! Everything I've ever won is worthless! Ah! You won't make a fool of me any longer!
That was because he found out his trophies were all given to him for just participating. Underreaction, if you ask me. I wasn't kidding, by the way. It can be a war crime to use flamethrowers, although it depends. Let's say you use them on an unsuspecting civilian, for example.
Oh my god!
Yes, that was still because Brian owed him $50, by the way. And I know what you're thinking, Stewie can't face war crime charges, he's not a head of state. Well, anyway, here's the time he was a head of state. Someone phoned The Hague already. Oh, and here's an interesting fun fact for you. I bet you didn't know that flamethrowers are legally not firearms, but are classified as power tools. That means depending on where you live, it's illegal to buy, own, and use one on your property without any supervision or oversight. Good luck sleeping tonight. Personally, the damage rating from flamethrowers is frickin' off the charts. I mean, have you seen the pyro in TF2? Not because the initial burst of flames hurt, but it's just the sheer amount of damage an uncontrolled flame can do. 5 stars. Fire rate also gets 5 stars. You also see how consistent that fire is, right? Once Stewie starts working on that problem, there's no stopping until the ammo's done. Unfortunately, its high damage and fire rate are meant to make up for the fact that reloading the power tool is infinitely annoying. Plus, that canister can potentially explode right in your frackin' face. I mean, didn't you learn anything from Stewie's epic battle? 1 star for fire rate. The fuel tank is the flamethrower's second weakness. Depending on the model, you're carrying enough fuel for about 8 to 30 seconds of continuous fire. I wouldn't bring that with me on the battlefield, and yet many people did anyway. 1 star for magazine size. We're gonna round out Stewie's list of conventional weapons with his grenades. You might be wondering when he ever used one of those. Well, he didn't use it, but he definitely has them. Look at him planning for a day out.
Man in white is coming to put me back in the womb, is he? Yes, there we are. Come to Managua. I must prepare for my journey. Is it grenades, mace, baggie full of Cheerios?
Tragically, we never got to see him use it. The second time I saw him carrying a live grenade, he used it like a frackin' Dumbo.
Some chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Active grenades!
Okay, here you go, honey.
Victory is mine! Ah, damn you all!
What was the goal there exactly? Mutually assured destruction? It's a good thing he stopped using them after this. Stats time. I think we're all aware grenades pack some heavy damage at this point, what with the high velocity shrapnel and concussive blasts. 4.5 stars. As for its fire rate, well, dude, it's single use. So as fast as you can throw it, I guess? AKA poor, 1 star. The magazine size is 1, also poor, 1 star, and the reload time is non-existent, 0 stars. With that, I'm pretty sure I covered all the normal weapons, so why don't we visit a little bit of Star Wars? If you're a fan of the show, movie, everything Star Wars, you know what carbonite is. Normally, it's used to preserve problematic people for transport, and Darth Stewie loves using it. Regular Stewie does too. He took the concept from Star Wars, refined it, turned it into a gun. Guess who his first victim was?
You're getting to be a big boy now, and part of growing up means facing your problems head on.
You're saying I must return to face this man in white myself. Thanks will keep you warm as you spend the next 10 years in frozen carbonite!
If you really feel stuck in life, ask Henry the security guy how he feels. Now, the carbonite gun as a weapon isn't for damage dealing because the victim ain't dead. The main discomfort comes from the after the person somehow escapes carbonite freezing. So I'd rate its damage as absolute 0. As in 0 stars. Although Stewie used the weapon only once, it's pretty clearly a laser, meaning its fire rate is basically infinite. Same as the magazine size, 5 stars for both fire rate and mag. I mean, did you see any magazines or bullets in that contraption? Now, I'm no baby genius, so I don't know how sci-fi gun works, but if there's infinite ammo, then there's no need for reloading, 5 stars. Such wonderful stats for a weapon that does 0 damage. Well, let's jump to a sci-fi weapon that actually does a tiny bit of damage. While the weapon in question isn't as sci-fi as a carbonite gun, I doubt it's something you would find easily in Walmart. I'd like to introduce you to the Frost Cannon.
Good shot!
Yeah, next one's coming for your head.
Oh, help! Now is the winter of your discontent!
There are 2 things you need to know here. 1, the popular, boring name the community calls this weapon is the snowball launcher, but I think Frost Cannon sounds way cooler. 2, the weapon doesn't do significant damage. I mean, all it did was stun Brian a bit, half a star. The fire rate was pretty cool. I mean, 4 consecutive shots with a little lag, 3 stars. But the magazine size is obviously small. Just 4 fracking shots? 2 stars. And only Stewie knows how to actually reload that fracking thing. It's probably a tedious process of stuffing snow in the cannon after every 4 shots. 2 stars. Sounds fun and stressful. That wasn't enough damage for you? Well, aren't you a destructive little fella? Fine, let's up the ante. Here's a sci-fi weapon that might have enough damage to actually take a life. Weirdly enough, this borderline dangerous weapon is also shaped like a cute, delicious breakfast.
Now, I know you all hate eggplants, but what on earth was that?
What the deuce are you staring at? It's tuna fish and nothing else.
Definitely not a tuna fish sandwich. It looks like something from the old James Bond movies. We gotta see this weapon only once, and it's obviously a member of the laser family. How do I know? Well, did you hear the signature zip sound? Did you see the tiny burn damage on the wall? It might not be the deadliest of weapons, but it can definitely do some damage. 1 star. The firing rate, though, is very high. You know, being a laser and all that. The magazine size is also large since there are no bullets to finish, and once again, that means no reload time. 5 stars for everything else. I wonder why he bothers with that tiny blaster anyway. The kid has a full-on laser blaster. Before we get to the laser blasting though, I just want us to agree on one thing. This weapon is literally where Stewie's tiny overlord villain brand started.
From the future? Did they ever find a successful vehicle for Ellen Cleghorn? I asked that very same question and never got an answer. And you're as disposable as she is!
Tell me obliterating people out of existence isn't the height of being a villain. And the weapon is so easy for a baby to use. There's no recoil, no need for him to reload, and it's so small it fits into any diaper. Although now that I think about it, Stewie's been a major menace blasting lasers way before he was even born. Some of us just ran a race or something. Stewie just had to turn his own to a space battle. Stewie's laser blaster comes in all shapes and sizes, but they all have one thing in common: they shoot lasers. But mostly he's shooting those lasers at himself. Seriously, I couldn't find a clip where he wasn't killing himself with a laser gun. Well, I suppose this time it was Brian who did the shooting.
Nice job, man.
Thanks. And I'm really glad I didn't kill the wrong Stewie.
Come on, I'll take you home.
His laser guns are either one shot, one kill, or obliterate your atoms. Now, I would have given the laser 5 stars in damage, but unlike the flamethrower or rocket launcher, its damage is very focused. That's why even stubby-legged Stewie could dodge the hell out of it, so 4.5 stars. As for the fire rate, magazine size, and reload time, you know the drill at this point, 5 stars. Now you're thinking, could any weapon top the laser either in damage or class? Well, yes. And it's this bad boy right here, the Screw Hover Car. What the frick is the plan exactly? This weapon kinda sucks. Aside from the horrible design choice, the damage it can inflict is a little bit better than okay. If it can go through concrete and go through you, 3.5 stars. The fire rate's pretty darn good though. The screw keeps spinning, sometimes to the user's detriment, so I'll be giving it 4 stars. It has 1 drill which ain't going anywhere, so no magazine and 0 reloading necessary. 5 stars. All in all, it's definitely the worst weapon on this list. Now for the weapon that actually rivals the laser blaster. I give you the new and improved Sperm Ship.
Give it to her, good old man.
More of a shrink ship than a sperm ship, but I call it that because the first time it was used, it involved vaporizing every single sperm cell in the Fat Man's nutsack. In the episode of Mission Impossible, Stewie found out Peter and Lois wanted to have another kid. Well, we all know how we feel about being replaced, so our evil little genius decided to take matters into his own hands.
Stop them from the outside. I'll stop them from the inside. Oh dear. I'm afraid no fly zone.
That fly did not deserve that. As you can see, Stewie's shrink ship is equipped with laser weapons, a very agile navigation system, and a powerful exoskeleton. This allowed him to single-handedly vanquish millions of enemies. They didn't stand the chance. With that extensive display, I believe the shrink ship's lasers have basically the same stats as the laser pistol with one improvement. The damage level of the shrink ship is way more than the laser blaster. I'm sure you saw how things just kept exploding into a million pieces. Add that to the speed and versatility of the ship, and you can do some widespread damage in a very little amount of time. Couple that with the infinite firing rate with an infinite magazine, and there's no need to reload. That all puts this bad boy at the top of the list with 5 stars across all categories. And with that, I've rated pretty much every weapon this iconic toddler has ever used, not including the infinite amount of weapons in his closet, that is. If you're not satisfied, though, you might want to click the link on screen now for more animated action. As always, guys, thank y'all very much for watching.